While serving as special assistant to the superintendent of schools in Wichita, Kansas, I ran a coalition called Project Freedom. We worked on youth substance abuse and violence prevention programs. I decided that in order for me to better understand youth violence in our community, I needed to meet and connect with some of the 66 gang sets operating in our neighborhoods. The chief of police agreed to my request to ride with our gang unit. My first night out, a 15-year-old died from a drive-by shooting. His last words to me, "Help me," and then he died. One night with the gang unit turned into 18 months of riding with the gang unit 4 nights a week. One night, a hardcore gang member had beaten up his girlfriend and their 4-year-old child. When she called the police, she asked for help and requested that Clipboard come with the unit. That's when I discovered that the gangs had given me a gang name, and it was Clipboard. Not the macho name I had hoped for, but everywhere I went, I carried a clipboard with jobs and questions for my interviews attached to the clipboard. I remember arriving at the house, and while the police were making an arrest and EMS were treating the mother, the 4-year-old looked at me and said, "Mister, can you get me out of here?" We did, and we got our mother help. I would visit them over the next year, and they insisted on calling me Clipboard, and that became my name with the gangs and families in the neighborhood. When I left Wichita and moved to Washington, D.C., Project Freedom threw a going-away party for me. Former gang members showed up and presented me a very nice clipboard to take to Washington. When I moved into my Washington office, I was asked what name should go on my door. I said Clipboard. And they said, with a smile, probably not. For years, I kept that clipboard close to my desk. I confess I'm ready, with the help of some friends, to take my clipboard back to Washington and various state capitals and start holding everyone claiming to be elected accountable for the sorry state of our democracy. A democracy that claims everyone has an equal voice and are included, and start holding them accountable for those claims. For right now, the poverty and desperation that fuels violence in many of our communities is largely ignored. This is Jim Copple for the Legacy Project.